The activity seemed to be happening there harmoniously for quite some time. Then all of a sudden, about 2 years ago, more and more people started showing up. We started to receive some phone calls. We started to hear some feedback from our Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission, whether or not we should do something with either relocating the RC activities from Kaposia Landing or continuing to allow it. And the instances range from reports we have from both our police department and from people just calling our office, frankly, saying they were on the trail and a model airplane came close to where they were. We had some reports of some vehicles becoming in conflict with the RC aircraft on the road. We also had some conflicts that were happening. People were concerned with wildlife, that being next to a migratory route, that might somehow impact that. So at the time, we had another discussion with our Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission over about the span of 2 years, and the recommendation was determined that if we are going to restrict it, the time would be when Kaposia Landing is going to be ready to be developed as a part of the Plan Capacity Plan in 2006. So we're at that point in time. We had a discussion again with the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission. That's what they recommended. We brought it forward to the City Council work session, and that's what we were recommending. At the time, we were considering, do we just restrict it at Kaposia Landing, or do we talk about the whole entire park system? Unfortunately, this is one of those instances where if there's a use that maybe isn't appropriate or maybe a nuisance to somebody, we want to try to facilitate in a specialty area somewhere. This is one of those activities, one of the rare ones that we do not have the real estate and the rest of South St. Paul to facilitate it anywhere else in our park system. So, you know, it's unfortunate when we have to say you can't do it here. We like to follow that up with, why don't you do it here instead? Unfortunately, we do not have that luxury with the nature of our park system being in the urban park here. So we are recommending for full restrictions of RC aircraft in the parks. We also included watercraft in that when we started analyzing some of the concerns that were also aircraft. It also tied to RC watercraft. That really only would affect Silas Lake Park in our park system, but the Commission, Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission, thought it was appropriate to include that as well.
Anything from the council? Councilmember Seaver? Moved by Councilmember Rothacker.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Podgorski. Councilmember Seaver.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Esser, where else in Dakota County can somebody who lives in South St. Paul go to fly the aircraft?
I'm not aware of any private facilities that are available. I do know through some research there are 33 flying clubs in the state of Minnesota. Those clubs usually have a home airfield they use. As far as a public airfield in Dakota County, the only one I'm aware of is operated by Dakota County at Spring Lake Park Reserve in Hastings. Other than that, there are not any other municipalities in Dakota County that operate a dedicated airfield. So maybe some enthusiasts could maybe correct me, and there might be more opportunity out there. But usually what they are is it's a pay-to-fly facility that's privately owned on private property. Usually there's a membership involved, some code of conduct they have to follow. That's the structure. But right now, the only public one I know of in Dakota County, proximity where we are, is operated by Dakota County at Spring Lake Park Reserve.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the audience that'd like to speak to this?
Go ahead.
Please give us your name and
Hello,
your address.
Mayor. Also, my name is Patrick Morris, my son Oliver. This is a group that we all fly at Boca Park, Boca Island. And I spoke with Chris earlier today. Last year, my son, while biking around the park, saw the flyers, wanted the plane, wanted to try it, and we bought him a plane, and he was flying all year last summer. We flew 4 to 5 nights a week. All of us are out there pretty much during the summer, every night flying. This frankly is a surprise to all of us. We got word of it through my aunt, that there was a little snippet on the news. None of us knew this was even up for consideration at this point. Speaking with Chris, he had told me that we've been being monitored for 2 years, which is a little concerning since we weren't included in any of the conversations. This is the main core of the group. We've never been addressed. We've never, been even considered in any part of these conversations. I would say in all my experience, every night I've been there, everybody's always respectful of vehicles, people, wildlife in particular. Like all the pros I heard about an archery range, similar true. These planes are very expensive. We're not going to go fly them in the cars or fly them in the birds or I understand the concerns with safety. We use the park quite a bit. There's all kinds of safety concerns with dogs, bike ridership, and pedestrian lanes. There's always safety concerns with any activity you do on the park. I guess what we'd like to say ideally is we would like to be part of the development in some way, or some form. We would like to have some type of maybe extension in the interim to come up with a set of rules. There are governing rules. There's a national organization that has a set of rules. I spoke with Chris, he was aware of these, that we could, edit, we could, bring forth to the council and say, here's what we propose as far as like distance from objects, things like that. I think we all just kind of feel like we're blindsided by this, and to some degree that this was all, we were out there every night. Nobody's ever notified us of any complaints or concerns. And quite frankly, a lot of people in the park come and stop by and look at the planes. We fly old World War I, World War II planes. There's a lot of interest from veterans to small children that come and look at the planes and are interested in the planes. I would say there's just as much interest as there is of any complaints that happen in the park.
Councilmember Hanson?
No, I agree with you that there's a lot of interest, and it is fun to watch the planes fly. I totally agree with that. However, the park is being developed in a manner that isn't going to allow planes to be flown in that area. So it's not just that there may have been issues with some of the people that are flying planes, or it's just the fact that it's not going to be a huge open space like it is now. So it's not going to be a place where you can actually go and fly your planes. Now, I know there's a group working with Dakota County, and I don't know if you're aware of that, but they actually got together and they are developing kind of a new location for their park, still in the Spring Lake Park Reserve. And it's not that far from here, it's like 15 minutes from here. So I think I would suggest that you check with Dakota County, because I think that you should have a place to fly, and they're working with a group to make a really nice place for you to be able to fly your planes. And unfortunately, the spot here in South St. Paul isn't going to be available for that. And not necessarily because we don't want your group there, that's not the main reason at all. It is just that it's going to be a different sort of area now, once the development is finished.
Yeah.
Pardon, yes.
Sorry, my name is Rob Wilson. I've been flying down there for a couple of years, and I'm just kind of curious when this is going to happen, because the rumors that we keep hearing is that the city didn't have the money to do what they wanted to do last year, and they have money now. When are they going to do
We
this?
passed the referendum.
And is there a reason that we couldn't stay till we got to that point, maybe?
Construction's gonna start.
No. Christopher, sure. For what part of the park are they gonna start development this year?
Madam Mayor, members of the council, this council approved the contract for phase 1 of Composure Landing. We have a pre-construction meeting this Thursday, and we'll know more of when the construction will start, but we're guessing it'll start as early as May.
Which is the ball field, is that correct?
Correct.
Way down
Which
the
is
other
on
end.
the very, very, very north end of the park?
Yes, but there's gonna be some earthwork that has to be done, so when the earthwork has to be done, we're probably gonna have to, and we won't know this until Thursday when we have the pre-construction meeting with the contractor. We'll have to shut the roadway down and most access to the park, because they're gonna be hauling in dirt for probably a month.
Fair enough, so based on, Lori's assessment, that it's more based on the development of the park, not necessarily how it's being used, would it be fair to say that until this is done, this should be tabled, we should wait and see?
No.
Is there a reason why?
Yeah, because all of the public discussion we've had over the last 15 years relating to the Parks Master Plan, guys, which has been open to all of you to attend. As residents of South St. Paul, how many of you are residents? So, we've developed a very comprehensive Parks Master Plan, and at no point did we identify Kaposia Landing as a place for recreational aircraft, ever. We didn't consider that in the trail system that we worked with the Dakota County and the state of Minnesota